We're back with another really cool episode today. We have, I guess, Nev Widders. So, Nev, if you want to introduce yourself, maybe tell us, what you're up to at the moment and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, right. So, I'm Nev Widders, born in Armidale on N1 country. Proud N1 Bearapai boy with that strong connection to Wanneroo country. And what I'm up to at the moment is I'm actually today I'm waiting on my samples to get here, so I'm actually getting ready for my latest collection, the second collection of this year for the culture. Working on a really big project with the school at S.M.A.R.T around the school syllabus and how to best implement cultural education into the syllabus from K to 6, and working on some the vintage caps at the moment and doing a little bit of gardening. That's about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So, can you maybe recall a tough time or a time in your life where you might have had to overcome a few barriers, and what do you think? What do you think worked for you, or what helped you get through that? I guess.
Yeah, I think Paul, like I actually just only recently come out of a bit of a tough time, with making a couple of big decisions, and I think one of the best things that's always helped me, because I haven't experienced a tough time like that since 2019, and then before that, I had a lot of ups and downs before that. But the one of the best things was, it's probably three really good things. One is having a routine, having a strong routine, or just something consistent, any consistency in your life, mainly for like that that morning part, win the morning, win the day. So having a routine, and just being present, trying to understand, what's around you, and that, that there's a lot of things to be grateful about. A lot of opportunities out there. And the last one is just a good support network, man. I've been in some really toxic groups that seemed like they were really good at the time, but I think I can decide now for myself in a really good way, if a certain group or a friendship or a relationship is good for me or toxic. So yeah, I guess surrounding myself with good people and having them yards. But that's the kind of person I am, man. I like to I like to talk to people. I love to see people, and I'm that kind of person. Not everyone's like that, but yeah, that's what helps me. Those three things.
Yeah, I think that's good too, because I think I think we're a little bit like that in terms of whoever you surround yourself with, you're gonna attract a lot of their energy, or you're gonna pick up maybe sometimes their bad habits too, which is something I personally might have experienced, in terms of you might hang around people that have these things that you don't want to be a part of, or your morals don't reflect that, but then you pick them up just from spending so much time with them.
Exactly, man.
So, like, I guess continuing on that conversation piece there, brother. Like, you sort of mentioned, there was people or groups that you kind of had to cut out of your life, I guess, to ensure that you were bettering yourself. Can you elaborate on how hard that is? Because it's actually something quite hard to do, right? It's not
man.
Easy.
No, 100%. It definitely starts within ourselves. That in today's world, like right now, man, there's so much going on. It's when you sit back and think about it, it's like organized chaos, man. There's so much happening, and so much for your mind to consume, and so many decisions to make, all of this, all of that. But you know, in a way to kind of identify that and get out of that, you just have to be honest, man. You can't lie to yourself, and you can't cheat yourself too. Like most of the time, if someone says something and you don't agree with it, or you get kind of defensive about it straight away, or it triggers something, there's a part of that has some truth to it. But it's having that honesty and truth within yourself, knowing that and understanding that, oh, maybe what I'm doing isn't that good, and maybe this person that I've been friends with for so many years, we've been doing the same stuff for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, so it's that being honest, man, and just being able to have a look at it from the outer perspective. And it is, like you said, it's so hard to do it. But I feel like, for most of us, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, for example, I was fortunate to have, a couple of people, not many, but a couple of people in my life that just were honest with me, didn't lie to me, didn't, but there was more people that, weren't really helping me. So having those couple of people that were being honest, it kind of planted that seed in my mind. So, I guess it comes down to, you need to want it. You need to really, really want better for yourself, or, better for whoever you're around. And that's where, if you really want better, you have to be honest with yourself and make those sacrifices. But I think it starts with that honesty, man. Once you can start being honest with yourself and seeing the truth in certain things, you can then you can start making those steps to making those sacrifices, or putting those boundaries up, and all those other things that leads to your, I guess, a better mental space for yourself first and foremost.
I just want to make a point of saying, like, what you've said there. So it very often gets left out, in terms of that you have to have an honest conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I think a lot of the time, our young people, or anybody really in society, they're always sort of pointing the finger away and saying, well, these are the reasons why I am the way I am, rather than going, what am I actually doing to change, to make a change? So, it's really cool to hear that, that come from someone like yourself, that's, your journey has been such an awesome journey, up and down, but, this is great.
That's it, man. And I think the other thing is you have to surrender, man. You can't have that truth and that honesty without surrendering. It's like when we become anxious, or become a bit narrow-minded, or closed off, what we're doing, we're putting this wall up, right? And with this wall, it's where, because we've got this tunnel vision, all we're thinking about is this wall is protecting us from all the stuff that's going to hurt us. But what we're also doing with that wall, we're, none of the good stuff can come in. None of us, it's going to be hard for us to see the beauty in, the really good stuff, and receive that good energy, like, to be able to be grateful for certain things, and, not just say I'm grateful, but actually, like, sit there and just, feel that, and really understand how good it is to have that one thing in your life, or, there's a number of things in your life. So having that wall up, man, we think it's protecting us, but it just makes us, makes us more closed off, man. And it's like we don't even realize it, but we're moving ourselves further and further. We're detaching ourselves away from the people we love. And the biggest thing I've learned, man, is we need that pain. We need that, we need to be able to hurt. It's a part of us, and it's what makes us, man. It's not, no emotion is bad. We have to feel any and all emotions, especially, you know, if it comes to us and, you know, we're feeling it. You just got to be able to feel it, man, and be able to, you know, persevere through it and accept that it is. And the only way we do that is by surrendering, letting that wall down. You know, then we can start to move on to the you know, to the honest and truth stage, and to, you know, start making some decisions. But yeah, that wall, man, bringing that wall down and becoming honest with yourself, that's the tricky part. And I think it's even just thinking about it, man, we think a lot and we don't act as much. You know, we don't progress with what we think about. But yeah, that barrier, man, we got to be able to, we need hurt, we need pain, we need suffering, because if we don't have that, you know, we're never going to be grateful for the, you know, for that process. That, you know, that success isn't in the end result, it's in the journey, man.
Yeah, exactly right. I love that saying. You know, so that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of stuff for people to go through, or someone to go through. But from sort of your perspective, bro, like, we all need an escape, right? We all need that place to vent and place to kind of recharge the batteries. So what is yours, bro? Like, what is your escape to help, you know, reset your sort of mindset?
I like that you brought that up too. I'm gonna be real honest here. I try not to look at it as an escape. You know, we tend to use this phrase, and, you know, I actually used it a lot. You know, when we shouldn't try and escape, you know, anything. We just, you know, we should just use what's around us. And, you know, so for example, man, my thing that kind of, or the way I put it is, I just try and calm the waters, man. I try and, you know, in everybody's head, it's like, you know, it's like water, and it's getting shaken up and it's constantly moving. There's people that are, you know, splashing around in the water. You've got to be able to calm that water. So the way I do it is, you know, I do the things I love, man. You know, I do a bit of gardening, or you know, I'll get outside, I'll try and mow the yard, or just, you know, sit on the grass for a bit, or I you know, start working on some stuff to implement in the culture, or, you know, the vintage caps, or I just you know, ring somebody up for a yarn, or try and get in contact with somebody, you know, just tell somebody I love them. Or so there's, you know, there's many different ways, man, but it's just, we got to do, I do what I enjoy. I have to do what I enjoy, because if I'm not, then I'm not getting that fulfillment out of the, you know, out of the things that I love doing.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of, you know, it's a waste of that of time. It's a waste of that passion and the love for that, if we're not using it, and we're not, you know, we're not getting into it and experiencing it.
You know, you always say you learn something new every day, or you never stop learning. And brother, just you've literally flipped a whole perspective for me personally, just from the way you've shaped or framed that piece. It totally makes sense. And so yeah, you just taught me something new, and altered my perspective on how looking at something. So I just want to say thank you for that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. We're all and that, like, we tend to look at other people too, man, and think they've all got it worked out. We're all still learning, bro. Like you said, we're learning every day. And, you know, we're brought into a world that already has, you know, these terms, and, you know, I'm not saying this is how it's the way, or how it's the right way to look at it, but we already have our what's right and what's wrong, and what's the way to look at things and what's not the way to look at things. And I think we have to decide for ourselves that we, you know, even though it's already there, we've got to be able to make up our own mind, so that we're comfortable with it, but we're also doing it in a way that you know, that's not putting us at risk, or putting anybody else at risk, or you know, danger or anything like that.
100%. So I know it's a little cliche, and I mean, a lot of people will take a lot of a lot out of your words today. But specifically, more brother, is there any is there anything that any piece of advice that's kind of really backed you as a person to where you are now that you would pass on to somebody else?
Honestly, not like I think not so much advice. I have like a little quote that I always use. Like I'll use it as more of an affirmation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more so that just having that. You got to have people, man. You got to have those people. Those support networks are key. And we don't always have to talk to those support networks, man. Like not everybody wants to speak, so but we also that energy. Like I think you said it before, Sam, about that energy. We need to be able to experience people's energy. Like I know whenever I see, you two, I'm open to that energy. Like I try and be a vulnerable person, and whenever I'm around you, man, I get that energy, and I walk away like, my energy levels are raised. So it's yeah, just being around those people, man. That's what's really helped me. I just being you got to be in it, man. You got to keep doing it. You got to wake up every day and want it. It's not something that you just once you got it, it's like that forever. Like you gotta keep it moving, man. You gotta keep threading that needle, But yeah, that affirmation that I read, I've actually got it up on my mirror right now. So I got this affirmation given to me. It was for me personally by one of my mentors, and that was when I was at rock bottom, man. I just come off, or I just was trying to beat a bit of a gambling addiction, alcohol addiction, and just party, like just loving that, all that silly stuff, man. But so he wrote to me, "This is what you are here for. Always remember that you come from a long, unbroken line of ancestors who survive unimaginable adversity, difficulty, and struggle. It's their genes and their blood that runs through you right now. Without them, you wouldn't be here. You are an heir to an impressive tradition, and as their viable offspring, you are capable of what they were capable of. You are meant for this." So with that, man, I just, for us, we're very blessed people to have a culture so strong on our, on well-being and our moral code and spirituality and consciousness, and community. We've got that. It's in our system, man. It's in our DNA. We've already got that. We're blessed with that. And as for those people that have those connections to other cultures or religions, they're blessed with that too. So I looked at that as that's something that I'm a part of, and I need I gotta use that, man. I gotta use that and be that heir to that impressive tradition. That 1,000-year-old tradition.
All right. So I think that's all for our questions. We might wrap it up there. But obviously, the stuff that you have going on is really cool, and I think a lot of your energy that you sort of use through even threat. When you talk about support networks, I think a lot of people might use that as a support network without even realizing that's what they're doing, which is important as well. It doesn't have to be that massive big stigma of going to Headspace or going to Real Young Minds to receive help or going there or going here. It's just you can sort of talk to someone and get a lot out of that without even realizing that that's what you're doing or that's what your goal was to get out of it. And the culture stuff is amazing. So jump on, have a look at the culture, have a look at the hats. I think the stuff that you're doing in our community, but also as myself and G would say, as a mate, as a friend, is amazing. So thanks.
No, thank you, brother. We all bounce off one another. we all get that energy from each other and inspire each other, and we're all that one driving force for us. So it's all of us, man. We're all doing it together. We're all on similar journeys, but driving that same force. So yeah.